Haha. Greetings, human. So, I have been itching to talk about Inside Out this for hours. I've been thinking about starting recording this video. I have my letterbox pulled up right now so I can come at you with the proper details of my history with this film that we are currently talking about. Yes. So I did not watch the original Inside Out back in 2015 when it originally released. I watched it for the very first time on April 3rd of 2023 last year, and it quite literally broke me. As much as a Disney fan as I am, 2015 was like the mid 2010s, and I was going through like a whole lot back then. And I'll be honest, I have not been up to date with a lot of Disney/Pixar products post like 2013. I actually have a friend who's been bugging me, desperately trying to get me to watch Moana, which for her sake, funny I should bring it up now because I still have not watched that film. But I absolutely adored Inside Out 1. And it was, I don't want to go too much into detail about what I loved about it because I really want to talk about the second film right now. But it was just, it was everything that I needed to hear at that point in life. What sucks is that I really do think it would have been a film that would have hit me even harder in 2015 when it originally released. But again, I was a whole different person 2015. It's a whole thing, but I just think the message of not suppressing our emotions and being able to feel a whole 360 of all our emotions was such a profound thing that I specifically needed to hear at that time when the film originally released, but even more so last year when I watched it. And that there are no terrible emotions to feel. Being a human being is feeling everything that you have, even if it might not seem okay to feel those things. And I still believe that is such a lovely message. Before I watched the second film, I actually rewatched the original one because I have Disney Plus now. Disney Plus! I mean, I already talked about this in a different video, but I didn't have my face in it, so you didn't see my actual reaction. But I have Disney Plus. Oh, my microphone's not in the shot. Hey there. You can. I was waving to. It doesn't matter. But this film was like kind of strange for me going into it because realistically, when I finished Get Out, Inside Out, when I finished Inside Out, there was the ending, which kind of alluded towards a continuation, but it didn't really feel like that. It kind of felt like a little cheeky joke. Oh, there's this new button on the pad that says puberty. I thought it was a little cute joke, a little funny gag, but I didn't really think the film needed a part 2. I wasn't exactly too sure what they could do with the concept. And so when I finished the first film, and I put my little letterbox thing in because, you know, I'm like that. Follow me on Letterboxd. Don't do that. My account is private. I don't think you can private your account, but if I could private it, I would do that. Don't follow me. Anyways, so when I logged the film, I saw that there was a poster for Inside Out 2. I was all like, this is peculiar. And this was like before any sort of trailers. This was like last year. This April 3rd, 2023. This was like before anything was like set in stone or whatever. And I was kind of like, are they kind of milking this a bit? What can they do particularly? And I'm a person if there's any sort of product that I am interested in, I don't look at trailers. I don't look at any sort of like internet discourse. I just go head first into the product. So I saw nothing about this film. I know nobody's opinions, nothing. I saw like, I feel as though this might be a bit of a cash grab, but I will hold on to hope. And I started seeing posters of the second film, and I started seeing like these new emotions. Specifically, this orange bitch who looks like a reject Wilt from Foster's Home of Imaginary Friends. And listen, you can say whatever you want. It was 100% profiling. But when I saw this motherfucker on the poster, I knew this bitch was gonna be an issue. And boy, was I right. So, odd thing about Inside Out 2 is that realistically, I did not think that I was going to enjoy it. But I still held out hope. And realistically, I enjoyed the second film more than the first. But I can still look past it and realize that the first film is better than the second. I know that is such a strange thing to say, because it's all like, yes, I enjoy the second film more, but the first film to me is so much more impactful as a film altogether. And I don't know how to feel about that. It's a strange thing of, I feel like the first movie had so much heart put into it, and it made me feel things emotionally that I was just not accustomed to. And maybe it might be because it was the first time. I'm not really used to like using all of my emotions. I only started doing so starting last year, or maybe even 2 years ago, who knows. But like, that was a first for me. And just to see a movie that kind of reaffirmed my thought process with emotions, that just broke my heart in so many different ways. It's actually really funny. When I watched the first film, originally, the only part that I heard other people found emotional but I didn't care for was Bing Bong's death. When I watched it originally, I was all like, am I supposed to feel bad for this thing? Because my eyes are dry. But then when I watched the film again recently, like a day or two ago, bitch, when I tell you I was up in my room. Yo, I was in hysterics! Oh my god, I have no clue why I was just like stone cold just watching it the first time, but this second time, I'm gonna be like the worst Disney adult ever. Oh my god, this is like, my career is over. I need psychiatric evaluation. I'm like, hello. But so I didn't really know where the plot could go with the second film. I'm just gonna, with the second film. And I was really scared that it was going to feel very cheap. It kind of felt like a rehash of the original. It was like, the original was Joy taking over Riley's emotions and trying to stop her from feeling certain emotions, such as sadness, because she felt like Riley only needed to be happy, to feel joy. And then at the end, in this very poignant, beautifully crafted, just like sequence of events, we figure out that all of the emotions need to work together for Riley to be a fully actualized, balanced, healthy, mentally sane human being. And then it was all like, hey, let's make a sequel. But instead of Joy being the one to do that, let's have it be anxiety. And it was all like, at the end, anxiety has the same resolution that joy has in the first film of like Riley needs to feel all these emotions instead of just you. So like, thanks Disney. I think we kind of knew that message like 9 years ago. Why are we doing this again? I felt like that plot was kind of weak because it's literally just kind of Inside Out 1.0 instead of what I was expecting, which was a sequel. The most interesting part about the movie for me was Riley losing her sense of self. I feel like that should have taken much more priority in the plot instead of just kind of feeling like a rehash of the original story beats. Because one of my, I won't want to say complaints, but one thing that I didn't really like about the first film was, I'm not gonna lie to you, the emotions. Like the first half of the movie was this excellent back and forth between Riley in her actual life with her family, and then the emotion dialogue. Like it was just a beautiful scene with the family, and then context with the emotion, beautiful scene with the family, and then the second half of the movie is just the emotions. And I was so like, this really isn't interesting to me. I really enjoy seeing Riley's dynamic in real life, and I think the second film balanced that out excellently. It was just the whole movie was, you could see the back and forth with the emotions and then Riley in real life, and I love that. That was amazing to me. Like I said, I feel like Riley losing touch with who she was, to impress like this older high school group of girls was so intriguing, and I wish they focused more on that, more on Riley just having this set of morals, having these things that she liked, that she acted like she didn't like because it was seen as unpopular or uncool to this new group of friends that she was trying to make. Because that is some real stuff. Listen, I don't cringe very often. I'm not a very cringe, I'm a cringe person, but I don't cringe at a lot of things. Usually things that people find cringy, I actually laugh at. I love looking at cringe compilations. Cringe compilations are quite literally try not to laugh challenges for me. Try not to laugh challenges are fucking boring as hell to me. But try not to cringe, yo, them bitches are a hoot and a holler. By the way, my stuffed animals are over there. Oh, did you see them? Yeah, there they are. I just set them up for the camera and I realized I've been blocking them this whole time. Anyway, back to the main purpose of the video. So I don't cringe very often, but the behavior that Riley showcased of her trying to act cool or trying to be somebody that she wasn't genuinely made me cringe. And it was because it was so realistic that I was like, damn, I used to be like that when I was younger. Like, and I know this is gonna sound so strange, but you're gonna have to this is like years ago at this point, but back in high school, I actually used to be like really well liked. Oof, this is getting to a serious portion of the video. Hopefully my camera doesn't die before I finish this. But like back in high school, I used to be really well liked. I was a very different person. I was very subdued, laid back, very cool, I guess you could say. I wasn't who I am or what you see in this video right now. And I was, even visually, I looked different. It was a whole thing. And even though I was well liked by a lot of people, and I guess you could consider me popular, it was probably the most miserable time of my life, realistically. And it was because the definition of cool, I had to fit everybody's definition, when in reality, when I look back at who I was when I was considered popular, I was an absolute loser because nothing about me was for me. Every decision that I made, everything that I talked about, everything that I did was for the cosign or, yeah, the cosign of other people. I thought about this before I made this video. I don't have many regrets in life, but I kind of realized that I had a person that I thought I was close to back in high school. She was somebody that I considered my best friend. And at the end of high school, I realized that everything that made me who I am truly, she hated. But she didn't know that she hated who I was because I never showed her who I was. I was just who she wanted me to be. And there was this other girl that I could have been friends with. She liked everything that I liked, talked about everything that I liked, but I chose to be friends with some girl that hated everything about me, unknowingly. But at least I was popular. Like, definitely this film was more personal to me. It felt really, I cringed a lot because I saw a lot of my past self in Riley. And I just wanted to, like, go into the film and be all like, your friends are right there. You don't have to be somebody else. You have wonderful people around you already who love you for who you are. I have to be back. My camera's gonna die. And I might actually start crying, and I don't want you to see that. Bye! Hold on a second. Oh, hey. So, Eve, you did claim that you enjoyed this film, but not as much as the first one, correct? Why, thank you, Eve. I did claim that. The reason being is because overall, I feel as though what this film kind of lacks is consequence. There was this final act in the film that I felt like was building up to a very character-defining moment for Riley that just did not come. And the ending of the movie, I'm not gonna lie to you, it actually irritated me a lot. Like, I had a feeling that the build-up, the music rising was going to be the end of the film. And I was literally sat there like, do not end this film right here. There is so much more there is so much more that needs to be stated. There is so much more we need to know. Do not end this film right here. And then credits. And I was all like, wow, that was incredibly anticlimactic. And I don't know why I said that so strangely. Anticlimactic. Whoa. You know what I'm trying to say. It was just really disappointing for a multitude of reasons, but I'll say the more video purpose wise reason. Anxiety had taken over Riley to get on the hockey team that Riley wanted to be on. And one of the tactics that anxiety thought of was that one of the cool girls got onto the team automatically because she scored 2 goals. And that is just not something that happens very often. The most somebody has ever scored was 2 goals. So anxiety was like, let's get 3 goals instead of 2 like the other girl. Let's show that we are just the best hockey player ever. And so Riley just plays, and she's absolutely selfish. She's hogging the puck. She's not passing to her other teammates. She literally, injures somebody on her team, but she gets her 3 goals. And that scene when Anxiety was talking about how she wanted to get Riley to have 3 goals, I was like, I know where this is going. I know what this is setting up, and I love it. Because, listen, I'm going to repeat it again. Riley's goal is to get on this hockey team. And her ultimate plan is to get 3 goals. She's selfish on the, I don't know anything about hockey. I don't know, is it called a hockey pitch? Is it hockey feet? She's selfish on the pitch. She's hogging the puck. She's not passing to any of her teammates. She laid that little girl. No, that's so fun. No, I'm sorry. That's not funny. That's actually not funny. I don't know why I laughed at that. She laid her teammate out like a yoga mat and still was covered on that shit. Yo. And what I was expecting was for Riley to have some sort of consequence. Sure, she got the 3 goals. She scored the most out of anybody in that camp, but she's not a team player at all. And I was hoping that there was going to be a scene at the end where the coach comes up to Riley, is all like, Riley, you've done something that nobody else has done on this team for tryouts. You played excellently, but at what cost? You were selfish on the field. You were acting as if you were playing alone. You injured your fellow teammate. Riley, you are an excellent hockey player, but you are not a team player, and you will not be on my roster next year. You can try again some other time, but for right now, you are not ready. I'm like, imagine if that happened, but to be continued, that weird ass fucking Marvel ending, that weird ass Avengers Assemble, what was that? That was so corny, man. That was so corny. I hate that ending so much. There was no sort of consequence for what Riley did. And it just sets a very terrible precedent in my mind. We all know. Whoa, the air just kicked in my house. That scared the hell out of me. We all know there are times where people just aren't themselves. And their emotions just take over, and they just act very... I've had moments like that. Plenty of moments like that. But that does not bar you from having to face the consequences of your actions. She literally clobbered her own teammate, yo. She literally clobbered her own teammate, injured somebody on the pitch, and she still gets to be on the team? And there wasn't any sort of from what I remember, I don't think there was any sort of reprimanding of Riley. It kind of just became a thing. It switched over to the emotions, and Riley just had a bit of a panic attack. And then the movie finished with the friends reuniting, and then Riley gets on the team. I'm just all where where are the consequences? Where are the consequences of her actions? It feels like Riley can do no wrong because she has anxiety. And trust me, I'm not about to be one of those people. Understand what I'm trying to say and what I'm not trying to say. What I'm trying to say is you cannot do bad things and excuse it based off of mental problems. That doesn't sit right with me. Riley legit physically hurt a person and nothing happened. And I feel like what the first film did was that there was maybe not consequences, but there was more weight to stuff that happened in that original film, whereas this film concluded and it felt like it began as this family story that everybody could enjoy, but then in the end it just kind of became this kid's cartoon of like Phineas and Ferb type thing. We almost destroyed the city, we almost got our big sister killed, but everything's fine now because it's a cartoon and there's no consequences for anything. And I'm just all like, what does that send to the people who watch this movie? It doesn't matter what you do if you're just like mentally not, if you're having a bad day so you can be a shitty person. That doesn't sit right with me, and that's my really only complaint about the film, is that the ending really rubbed me the wrong way. Riley understanding who she was at the end of the movie could have hit so much stronger if she realized that she is not a bad person. She is not an evil person. She just had a rough day. But you cannot excuse having a rough day with the pain that you put other people through. It did not sit right with me. It still doesn't sit right with me, and that ending just rubbed me the wrong way. I'm just all like, I don't think she deserves to be on the team. I just don't think she does. Eve, are you really shitting on this like fictional teenage girl in this movie? Yes, bitch, I am. No, I'm not. I'm really not. What I loved a lot about this film was the showcasing of Riley struggling with wanting to fit in, but fitting in was damaging her morals, and she felt like she had to get rid of her morals to be able to fit in with the crowd of people that she wanted to be with. And I feel like if they focused more on that, it would have made this movie so much more enjoyable for me. I still enjoyed this movie, mind you. I enjoyed this movie more than the first film. But the first film, to me, is still a better movie. And I don't know how to really explain that except for what I've already stated previously. I would have loved to see more of Riley's struggle with feeling embarrassed about her friends while trying to fit in with this new group of people. You know, I don't know. I think I've kind of said all I wanted to say. I'll end this video off with this. It sucks. It sucks being rejected. It really does. It sucks being rejected. It sucks feeling like an outcast. It sucks feeling like a loser. But what sucks even more, what hurts even more, is being loved by people who don't love you for you, but love the mask that you put on for them. And all you're gonna end up feeling is hollow around these people who shower you with so much love, because at the end of the day, they love a character that you're playing, not the person that you actually are. And there's just going to be an influx of people who gravitate towards you because of that character that you play. And it's just going to make you seep more and more into this solitude of emptiness. And you're going to feel lonely. But there's always going to be people, or maybe not around you at the current moment, But if you stay true to yourself and you stand on your morals and you stand on what makes you, you trust me when I say you will find people who actually love you for who you are. And I know that shit sounds corny, and I know that shit is overplayed. It's overplayed and it's a cliche because it's true. Like, I'm not even trying to brag or anything, but so I'm not even gonna go into details. But like me in high school, like textbook definition high school cool. I was it, you know. And right now, I am a fucking loser. I am literally sat here in my room talking about a Disney kids movie, animated kids movie. I am a textbook, my personality, everything that makes me, I am a fucking loser. But I'm the happiest I've ever been, surrounded by the most amazing people ever. And I might be the most uncool person societal wise, but to me, I could not be the most coolest person on the goddamn planet. And that is the only opinion that truly matters to me. I think that's it. There is a lot more that I wanted to say about this movie, but I think it's better to end this video here. I enjoyed this movie. I did. But I'm also a bit conflicted about this movie. But you know, it's always okay to have conflicting emotions. It's been Eve, Justice, and I'll see you lot later. Peace.